Boris Johnson and his supporters gathered together this week in the Carlton Club in London to unveil his new portrait, but also send a message to Rishi Sunak that he only has until this summer. Seems like it's a chunk of the Tory membership who are still not giving up, and they still obsessed with bringing back Boris Johnson as party leader and prime minister. There was a semi-attempt and a failed attempt recently following Liz Truss's resignation, which she was replaced by, I want to say Rishi Sunak, but it's mostly Jeremy Hunt. But supporters of Boris Johnson this week have been quite vocal. They've been pretty active. This week they had a gathering in the members-only Carlton Club in central London. And the journalists, all the media hacks turned up. They all wanted to see what's going on. And the whole idea was to unveil the new Boris portrait. It was kind of funny because it was on the same day as we reported this week, yesterday, the day when Grant Shapps and Rishi's government somehow managed to erase Boris Johnson from history and photoshopped him out of a photo with Grant Shapps in the past. But he has his own photo now. He has his own portrait. So he doesn't need it, right? Anyway, the supporters of Boris are very, very active inside the Tory party, but of course even outside, because they have this new movement, the Democratic Organization, Conservative Democratic Organization, and their aim is to take over the Conservative Party HQ to ensure that they bring in the necessary reforms to shake up the system. So a lot of people have already given up. A lot of people have already left the Tory party. Some have joined Reform UK. But people like Nadine Dorries, oh dear God. Yep, Nadine Dorries is still around. She has said that for the Tories, it's Boris or die. You only have two options, basically. She says that it should be no surprise to anyone that the thing that the Labour Party fears most is the return of Boris Johnson. For the Conservatives, it's bring back Boris or die, because the first task of any Labour government would be to ensure that there will never be a majority Conservative government again. Now, I do agree with the last part of what Nadine Dorries says. That is the intention of the Labour Party or a left-wing coalition, because there is no guarantee that Keir Starmer is going to get a majority, but it is highly likely that they could get a hung parliament, but the Labour Party being the largest party in the Commons. And the idea is to bring the voting age to 16, giving a voting rights to foreigners, and change the whole of the constitution in favour of the SNP in Scotland, and of course when it comes to the Welsh devolution as well. Now, that's one thing. But the Tory members who are still obsessed with bringing back Boris, they have apparently saying that the local elections coming up in May this year, so we only have about 4 months left. So 4 months until Rishi Sunak get his act together. They say that Rishi Sunak is not inspiring. Well, yes, we know that already. But some people would say, well, it's a bit too late now. Either jump on the Reform UK bandwagon or just give up. Otherwise, it's Rishi. Rishi's staying. He's not going anywhere. You're not going to have enough signatures. You're not going to have enough people sending the letter of no confidence. But some of them are pretty confident that they have those letters. Although they have recently lost Andrew Bridgen, who's always ready to send in his letter of no confidence on a regular basis anyway. He's suspended from the Tory party. But that's a whole different discussion for later on. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. We're going to come back every half an hour tonight with a number of news updates for you guys. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.